Welcome to episode number 29 of the Ninjababes podcast. Today, you're hearing from me about goals and motivation. We all want to be good at stuff, right? Everybody has goals. Everybody has things that they want to excel at. Maybe you're a ninja and you're like, I want to win the next competition that I go to, or I want to get on American Ninja Warrior. Or maybe you're in CrossFit or climbing or OCR and you have goals of strength and things that you want to succeed at. Don't be shy about your goals. If there's things that you want to go after, you don't have to be coy about it. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to feel proud of themselves. It's the best feeling when you can walk out of the gym and you're just glowing, or you make it through an obstacle that you were doubting yourself on and it just changes your whole day. So let's be real. Let's go after those goals, and I want to help you get there. So you've probably seen me in the commercials for Sleep Ovation on the Instagram ads or the Ninjababes YouTube channel, talking all about the sweet air channels and the 700 tiny mattresses in one, or you've heard about it from somebody, because I feel like a lot of ninjas are starting to try out the mattress and see what it's really like for themselves. I can tell you, I've been sleeping on it for the past year and I love it. I got it last year right around my birthday, and my birthday's coming up September 17th. So I'm really excited actually to think about having this bed for a year because I love it. I wouldn't go back to anything else, and I really want to encourage you, if you are looking for a mattress or if you're just curious about it, you can check out my review on YouTube and see all the reasons why I love it. And if you want to try it for yourself, they have a 100-day money-back guarantee where you can try the mattress for 100 days, and if you don't like it, they'll come and pick it up. And of course, you can use code Ninjababes, all caps, Ninjababes, for an additional discount, which would bring you up to $450 off your order. So check it out on sleepovation.com, or use one of the links from the ads in the Ninjababes YouTube channel. Other exciting news is we have a lot of really cool events coming up, because you can now book an event very easily on the ninjababes.com. So if you head over to the events and bookings page, you will see a brand new menu of what I have to offer. So there are 3 different workshops. These are similar to the types of workshops I've been teaching around the country, but you can now see an easy way to book them for your own gym. There's also a consult with Kara option. Basically, this is an online one-on-one where you can meet with me to talk about your goals, specific struggles you have with building a positive mindset, for all the Ninja Babes out there who really want to develop their positive mindset and that strong mental strategy. Maybe you listen to the podcast and you feel like, wow, everything we talk about in the podcast really resonates with me. How can I take it one step further and really apply it to my life? Well, that would be a great opportunity to book a one-on-one with me so that I can truly help lead you to those further steps in getting to your goals, building your mindset, and really stepping out of your comfort zone and finding that courage for yourself. There's also an option for booking a public speaking event where I come and I will share my motivational story and how I got to the place I'm at today, whether it's for a small group, a youth group, a Girl Scout troop, school, whatever it is. I would love to meet you and love to share my story. So I'm really excited to get started with this episode because we're in a great time of the year now where we're back to school, we're starting new schedules. Maybe you're getting amped up for doing league competitions throughout the country. It's an exciting time. Fall is really fun. So if you head on over to the ninjababes.com, that is where you can download the free Ninja Goals worksheet, and that is what I'm going to be going through in depth in this episode. There's also a YouTube video that coincides with this podcast episode, so you can check out the Ninja Goals and Motivation video on YouTube if you'd like to actually see me explaining this content, or you can just listen and follow along. But make sure you download that sheet because it's going to really give you a visual to everything that I'm talking about. And it's free. All you have to do is put down your email and you'll have the download emailed to you and you can follow along from there. All right, Ninja Babe, let's get started. So how do you even figure out what your goals are? Maybe you feel like, I think I have a goal, but I also have like 12 goals at the same time and I never know what to focus on and I'm always getting distracted by all these other things that I want to work on. Or maybe you get a goal and you get really pumped up for like a day and then you totally lose focus and you never follow through. There's so many things that can become distractions or just get in the way of our goals, and there's so many ways that we maybe get psyched up for a day or two and then we lose all motivation. So first of all, I want to make sure that everybody has a goal. So we're going to do a little exercise that I like to do to help me refocus and really know what I want to think about and focus on in my workouts or just in the next step of my ninja career. So everybody, close your eyes if you safely can close your eyes. If you can't, then keep your eyes open because I don't want you to crash your car or something like that. So if you can, close your eyes, and I want you to think about seeing yourself walking into the gym and feeling like it's your best day. You feel full of energy, you're ready to work out, you're ready to tackle whatever it is you're about to do. And as I'm explaining this, if it's sort of evoking a memory, that's totally fine. It can be a memory or it can be an imagination of the future. So walk into the gym and you're feeling awesome. You're ready for your workout and you're about to, step up to the ninja course or step into your workout. And what you're doing is feeling amazing. Every movement, everything that you're going through, every step is just feeling 100%. And so now I want you to see yourself doing something that is the best that you can do at that task. So maybe you're on the ninja course and you're getting further than you ever thought you were going to get. Maybe you're finally landing that continuous lache. Maybe you're making it up the 15-foot warp wall. I just want you to see yourself doing that thing that you want to do the best that you can possibly do it. So keep imagining. Now, open your eyes. What did you see? Did you see something that you've already done in the past? I'm going to speak to that for a second. So if you see something that was a memory that you've already done, why did you see that? Were you feeling so proud of yourself in that moment? Was that the best that you've ever done at ninja or at your sport? What was it about that memory that made you feel so good about yourself? Now, if that was something that you've already completed, you completed a course on A&W, or you made it up the 14.5 warp wall, take that thing that you did, that was awesome, but now I want you to amp it up, because if it's something that you've already done, unless it's a goal that you want to work on consistency, I want you to think of something that's even greater than that. So maybe that was something that you felt so proud of, but we don't want to just settle for something that you've already done in the past. We want to ramp it up and make it something even better. So now if you were imagining something that you've never done before, that's great. But I want you to imagine, where do you see yourself being able to do that? Realistically, if you were actually working on your goals, is that thing that you imagine something that you could maybe do in a couple weeks? Or is it something that honestly feels really, really far off? If you've never done ninja before and you think, wow, I want to start ninja and in 2 months, I want to be on the show and up the wall. Well, do you even know when castings start? I mean, there's a lot of steps in between. So I want to really hone in on a goal that is a realistic time frame for us to be working on. So maybe you are imagining yourself already completing the ultimate cliffhanger. So for those of you unfamiliar with ninja, that is the grippy of the most grippiest obstacle you could be working on. It's the tiniest little ledge that you have to crimp to get through. So maybe you want to do that, but you haven't even achieved a 2-inch cliffhanger. So where can we start that's a little bit more dialed in to where you're at now? Of course, the ultimate cliffhanger can be a goal for the future, but I want you to focus on something that would sort of be the next step, or maybe 2 or 3 steps down the line, something that we're going to work towards. So raise your hand if you feel like you've got a goal. Raise your hand if you don't feel like you've got a goal. All right, so I want to make sure we're all on the same page before we move forward. So if you imagined yourself doing a memory, like I said, I want you to ramp that up. What's the next step that's going to take you further? So if you imagined yourself completing the course and qualifying, why not imagine yourself being able to complete a city finals? Or if you imagined yourself making it through a really tricky balance obstacle because you feel like you always fall through balance stuff, that's what I want you to focus on, being able to really complete and be good at balance or agility obstacles. So then again, if you were imagining something, I want you to just pick one of those things. Maybe you were imagining multiple things and you were seeing a lot of different things as I was talking. I want you to just pick one of those images that you were seeing. Also, if you're having trouble trying to figure out what it is that you should be thinking about, just think about your sport or think about ninja in general. What is something that really freaks you out? Maybe just the whole idea of ninja in general scares you, but for some reason, you really want to be doing it. Well, then let's focus on your mindset. Maybe there's a lot of fear or anxiety or just nerves around putting yourself out there. And that's the goal that we want to work on. We want to focus on just getting you to the place where you can get out there and tackle the obstacles, tackle things that are psyching you out. Or maybe you're imagining other things that freak you out. So maybe you're I always avoid agility because I hate it and I suck at it. And so it scares me and I just don't want to do it. All right, well, maybe we should start with the goal of getting you to be able to learn conditioning movements and balance, or conditioning and agility to get you to the place where you can complete those types of obstacles. All right, so now that everybody's got their goal, let's move on to the next step. So as we're going through this whole idea of goals, there's actually something really awesome on the website that I'm going to be using as a resource. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can definitely, when you're able to, go to the website and you can download the Ninja Goals worksheet. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit in this episode, but you can also refer to the YouTube video that's going to go really in depth about everything in this amazing packet of how you can work on your goals. Okay, so maybe you're listening to this and you're already about to check out because you're like, oh, this is cool, Kara, and like, I'm glad you're doing this whole Ninjababes thing and trying to like help me work on my goals, but it's not really gonna work. Well, if you're the kind of person like me who procrastinates and has a hard time sticking to a schedule, I totally get that. I'm totally the same person. But let me tell you that being able to write stuff down, be accountable to other people, visualize what you're working on, all those things really help. And if you really want this, if you really want to get better at ninja or better at your sport, or just be able to do something that you really feel proud of, listen, you got to stick with it. Recently on Instagram, I put out a poll asking people what are things that distract them from their goals, when do they lose motivation, that sort of thing. And you guys gave some really great answers. People were saying sometimes you just have too many goals, or you get really stressed out by other things going on in your life, like work and family, or you just lose interest, you start feeling bored, your plan isn't working, and so then you like totally just go off of it. Insecurities, maybe you try to do stuff and you keep getting injured, or you just don't feel good, or you've had like a number of days at the gym that all feel like failure, and then you just lose sight of your goals. These are all real things that we all go through, so thank you for everyone who submitted, because I can definitely say I've felt all of those things before, but they don't have to be a roadblock to what you're going through. They might be bumps and obstacles like in your road, but that doesn't mean that they have to completely deter you from what you're going after in the long run for your goals. So there's another YouTube video that I made that talks about 4 simple tips for keeping motivation. Those definitely all apply to this as well, but I'm kind of going to go into them a little bit more in depth and more specifically for Ninja. So at the gym, we always train together, right? For the most part, everybody sort of has their training group, or maybe you have a coach or a team that you work with. That is so key to staying accountable to your goals. You gotta be able to be real with that person that you train with and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. I'm sure they can give you insight. They can help you film yourself to see what you're doing. They can give you some technique tips and things like that. But most importantly, they're gonna keep you accountable. So you wanna really make sure that you're being honest with somebody and transparent about what you're working on, what you're struggling with, and even what some of your fears are in the gym so that those things don't hold you back. And even just saying it out loud to somebody else, it means you actually like sort of believe in it, at least a little bit, enough to speak it out loud to someone. And then they can encourage you and help you really stay focused and grow your self-belief. So it means that those words have worth. That's why you spoke them out loud. Sometimes when we just keep our ideas and our goals in our own heads, it's like we can talk ourselves out of it. It's so easy to just sort of forget about it. But when you say it out loud, I like to think of it as like your words are actually like tangibly coming out, and then they're there. They're a real thing in space that you can't avoid. So the second tip I have is about having a plan. So that's really where this Ninja Goals worksheet is going to come in, and you're going to go through this really in-depthly in just a second. But having a plan, having a schedule to stick with is so important. Even if it's just like, okay, I know I'm going to get to the gym 3 times, so by that 4th time I'm at the gym, I want to have met this specific progression. You don't have to make it to your full goal right away. You want to be able to set it up as progressions and as things that are going to help you one step along the way. And this Ninja Goals worksheet is really going to help you figure out what those progressions look like. Another thing that's great about having some sort of schedule or a plan is it helps you really see what you're going for. So if you're like me, you can get lost inside of your own brain a lot, but if you have something visual that you're looking at, it really helps you to stay focused and know what you're going after. The third thing is honestly my favorite thing, and it's having something tangible and visible to look at that's going to remind you of your goals. So I'm a super visual person, and I love looking at images and photographs and things that really, really speak to not just the heart of who I am, but my brain. It's like it does something to me to want to really motivate me and make me stay focused. So I've printed out pictures of myself competing on A&W. I've printed out pictures of my friends competing on A&W. I have like a creepy little shrine of like things that make me motivated, but it really just helps me to stay focused. And I like those visuals to be almost a little bit intimidating. I have one photo that was from my first big competition at Ultimate Backyard Warrior. and I ended up coming in 8th place. But there's a photo of 5 of us who were from that top 10 group, and it's a longer story that I've actually relayed in one of the podcast episodes, but it really, that day changed my life because it really made me feel so included in the ninja community, and it made me realize like how much I really wanted to be a part of the community itself. Up till that point, I really didn't know what I was doing in ninja. It was fun. I was doing it for a boyfriend, and it was good fitness, but I really didn't know like what Kara was doing it for. And in that moment, it just changed my life so much. So I have a picture of the 5 of us standing at the warp wall at UBW, and I look at that and it reminds me of why I'm a part of this community. So that's so important to keep in my mind. I also have a picture of myself competing on A&W. It reminds me of the goals that I have to hit a buzzer on the show. You want to keep pictures like that almost feel intimidating a little bit. I like to see images of myself when I know I was like at the top of my game, or like I was feeling something that was very high emotionally in the midst of those pictures. So then when I look at it, it reminds me of those moments, and it makes me feel something. It's not just like a passive reminder. It's something that really almost like intimidates me and gets in my face and makes me think like, okay, Kara, like what am I doing with my life? That's what I want to feel when I look at those pictures, because it's going to remind me like, oh, I need to be focused. I need to be going after something very specific. And the last tip I have is about consequences and rewards. So I call them consequences, but really it's kind of more like delayed gratification or like delayed reward system. But basically what it means is if you have a goal and you're trying to stick to a schedule and you're like trying so hard, you've already told your friend about it, you've already found these like encouraging, intimidating photos that you want to keep of yourself. If you've done all these things, the last thing you want is for you to just keep procrastinating and like not really follow through, because that would be awful. So I want you to think of something that you're really going to miss if you take it away from yourself. So whether it's time out with friends on the weekend, or it's watching your favorite TV show at night, or even just like something new that you want to buy, I want you to try really hard to set those things at a distance so that you don't let yourself enjoy it until you've completed a goal that you're working on. So I don't mean the whole goal. I don't mean like making it to the finish line. I just mean what is the progression goal that you're working on that week. If you can force yourself to not enjoy something that you want to enjoy until you've first completed the goal, it's going to make that satisfaction of the thing that you like doing 1,000 times better. You're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to feel so satisfied. And then when you get to enjoy the thing that you want to enjoy, it's just going to be amazing. So trust me, try it and really be honest with yourself. What's something that you're going to miss if you don't have it? If you're constantly just like blowing off your goal and then doing that thing you want to do anyways, it's not reinforcing that discipline that you need to really drive yourself forward. Now it's time for my favorite Ninja Goals worksheet. So I wrote this actually, I think close to 2 years ago with a good friend and health coach, Sarah Salisbury-Jones. And she has written a lot of the action steps and the last visualization part of this. But she's an amazing coach who is also great at helping you go after your goals. So definitely check out her page at Saralyn_strong on Instagram. DM her if you have questions or if you'd like to work with her as a health coach. So we're going to get into this. And one of my favorite things on the page is the very, very first one. So if you haven't printed this out already, definitely go to the website and find the Ninja Goals worksheet. When you first pull up the site, there should be a box that comes up to ask you for your email, and you can immediately download it there. But you can also find it through the Ninjababes store. All right, so the very first question is actually my favorite question, and it says, I am thankful for progress in blank. So before we even jump into our goals or what you're working on, where are you at right now? It's really important to recognize the current state of who you are, where you're at, what you're working on, and maybe that feels really overwhelming, and that's kind of why I want to bring it up. Maybe you're like, my goal, honestly, Kara, is to like get my first pull-up or my first push-up. And you just feel like, how can I ever do anything else when I can't even do this yet? That's still a great place to start. Wherever you are now, it means that you're making the decision to live a healthy life, to want to go after your fitness goals. And that is commendable and amazing. And I thank you for being willing to start this journey. So I want you first to think about your goal and then think about where you are now, what's your starting point, and why are you thankful for being there? So, for example, if I am working on continuous laches, that's a really hard skill. But that means that if I'm trying to work on continuous laches, I must already be pretty darn good at laches in general, and I must already have some pretty amazing upper body strength and body control. And so those are things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that I can do these other skills that have now led me to start working on something that's really challenging and really difficult. Maybe you're working on balance, and maybe the reason you're working on balance is you're like, I used to be really good at it, but then I broke my ankle and now I struggle with it. That's okay. We've all had injuries. Right now, this left shoulder coming back from a dislocation and surgery. But if you are working on something that you're feeling almost a little bit shameful about because in your brain you're like, oh, well, before I was good at this thing and now I'm not, for whatever the reason is, I want you right now to just like wipe that shame off of you. You don't have to feel shameful for where you're at. I want all of us to be able to just feel honest with ourselves, with our current state of fitness, whatever it may be. So if you've been injured before and now you're trying to work back from that injury, I just want you to be thankful for your body's healing. Even just tell yourself, Kara, I'm so thankful that this shoulder is healing. Thank you, little left shoulder, for becoming stronger than you ever were before. Might sound weird, but it makes a big difference, and it just helps that mind-body connection to be so much deeper, and it's going to give you so much more success in the long run. So after you've kind of figured out what are you thankful for, write down what your goal is. Now maybe it's a skill, maybe it's a very specific obstacle. Either way, write it down. And then I'm going to read through this first part with you. Take a moment to clear your head. This practice will help you grow and achieve your goal. There is no self-judgment here, just recognition of ways to improve. Invite peace and confidence into your headspace and get ready to explore your goal. Now speak this out loud to yourself. I'm going to read it, but I want you to read it along with me or read it out loud in your own time. I am at peace. I am capable of achieving this goal. I am focused and disciplined, and I will work hard to succeed at this challenge no matter how long it takes. I am proud of myself for stepping into this journey. All right, it's time to brainstorm. We already did this together. We already brainstormed about what our goals are. So the next part is really just making sure that you are ready to take that goal and brainstorm how you're going to explore the skills necessary to complete that goal. So if you haven't figured out already, this worksheet packet is a self-assessment. It's a self-study tool to help you to achieve your goals. So if you have a coach or a team or just like a buddy that you train with, it'd be awesome to share this with them and show them what you're working on. But this is really designed in a way that allows you to really own what you're working on, know what you're working on, and it's great if you don't have a coach. It's just a tool to help you figure these things out on your own. The next step is to study a pro. I want you to look through Instagram, YouTube, A&W videos, and really find ninjas who are good at the skills that you want to work on. So chances are you already know who it is, because if you have an idea of a goal of something you want to do, it's probably because you've seen another ninja doing it and you're like, that's cool, I really want to do that. So bring up Instagram, scroll through your phone, find images of somebody doing the skill that you want to do and doing it well. So for example, I know that Mason Agnes is really good at continuous laches. I could pull up a number of his videos or a lot of other people at Obstacle Academy and see them doing a continuous lache. I can try to slow it down. I can try to see everything that I want to be able to fill out in this next part. So we're going to go through body alignment, power and momentum, strength, timing. We're really going to pick apart some of these videos that we're looking at. So make sure you find, if you can, either a few different people or at least a few videos of the same ninja doing that skill. So a lot of this you're going to go through on your own. I'm not going to read every word on every page, but make note of every single thing that's listed here. And if you're not really sure what it means, ask a friend. Or if you're like, I don't really know what muscles are involved with hanging, well, you can think about it. If you're hanging from a bar, engage your muscles and you can feel like what is engaging when you pull down, when you're holding on. You can try to figure it out that way if you don't have a background in exercise science. That's still a way for you to feel it on your own body and to be able to jot it down. And of course, like I said, if you have the ability to talk to a coach or talk to somebody else, you always want to be double checking yourself when it comes to training, especially with things that require a lot of solid technique. You don't want to evoke an injury on your own because you're doing something the wrong way when you thought it was the right way. So this will be a really great guide for you, but when you have the chance, definitely double check it with a friend. Moving on to the next page, it talks about self-assessment. After you have watched some of these pros or people who are just pro in that specific skill, I want you to then take a video of yourself doing what you're trying to do. Now, maybe you're like, I want to do a pull-up and I can't. How am I going to take a video of myself doing that? Well, if you are in any sort of progression for that skill, maybe you can hang and pull to like here, or you can get to 90, whatever it is. I want you to sort of take a video of where you're at now. It might look nothing like the skill that you're trying to accomplish. Maybe you're trying to do some sort of cliffhanger moves and you just can't even hang yet. That's fine. I want you to just really figure out where you're at and take a video of whatever you can do. Because maybe you can get halfway through an obstacle, but you're not able to complete it. Maybe on the salmon ladder, every single time you're hanging from the bar, you're just hitting that next rung. I want you to take a video from multiple angles showing your current status so that you have something to compare it to with these other videos of ninjas doing it right. So I want you to now look at your own body alignment, power, momentum, strength, timing. What is different about what you're doing in those videos compared to the ninjas who are getting it good? Now, after you've really gone through the nitty-gritty steps in each part of the body alignment and all of that, there are some action goals. So this next page talks about steps that you're going to take in order to now start working on your goals. And this reviews some of the motivation tips that we already talked about, like finding a friend that you can confide in, telling them what goal you're working on and what your progression steps are going to be, asking them to help you stay accountable to your goal, and really learning how to break your goal into progressions. So that's really key, is knowing not just, oh, I want to make it up the work wall, but if you've identified that there needs to be power in your steps, that you definitely need to focus on quad, glute strength, the driving force of hip flexion and all those things, then those are the things that you're going to write out in your progressions to really make sure that you have an understanding of how to map out the goal and not just, oh, I want to get from here all the way over there, but what are all the steps in between? Remember with progressions that every little step is a victory. So in blue, I've written out things that I want you to be able to say out loud. I'm proud of myself and grateful for every small victory and success on my journey. Because even when you complete a progression, that is a huge accomplishment. A progression of getting to a continuous lache is being able to do those explosive pull-ups, to find body control, to be able to do laches in general and understand how to throw and distribute your weight the correct way through the movement. All of those things are progressions that are helping you achieve the final goal. The last page in the pack is about visualizing, and so I really want to read this through with you. And if you're working together with me, going to fill out the worksheet, I want you to just pause now and let me read this to you so that you can close your eyes and visualize. Get in a comfortable place and just be ready to imagine. So before we even start, I want you to just clear your head and focus on what I'm speaking to you and just focus on being able to create a good headspace and a great place for imagining. So imagine yourself in the ninja gym or at a competition, and I want you to see yourself beginning to step up to the obstacle. You're feeling proud of yourself, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling ready, and you begin to engage with that obstacle. You're not engaging out of fear, you're engaging out of someone who feels confident and ready to tackle the task at hand. So as you start to engage, I want you to really envision what it feels like in your hand. Are you holding a bar? Are you holding a cliffhanger? Are you holding a ninja grip hold? Whatever it is, feel it in your hand, or feel that thing below you as you step out onto the balance obstacle or whatever it might be. So just see yourself engaging with the first parts of that obstacle, and now see yourself making moves through it. I want you to extend your hand to the next place, and if you're actually sitting there listening to me and moving around, that's great. You can reach out in your mind and actually physically reach out. So go through every step. Imagine that obstacle and imagine yourself completely calm and in control, but breathing deeply, breathing well, moving through every part of the obstacle. Keep going through it as you make every single step and be confident in your foot placement, confident in the momentum that it takes to move yourself forward. So in the midst of doing this, if you're struggling, if you're seeing yourself falling, if you're seeing yourself not being able to accomplish what you're trying to work on, I want you to just say out loud, I'm working on this obstacle and I'm building the skills that I need to succeed at it. I can succeed at this obstacle and I can succeed at what I'm working on. I'm going to complete this obstacle. I believe that I can do it. I believe that I have the strength and the strategy to make it through this obstacle, and I'm going to complete it. So if you've fallen, get back up and try again. And this time, keep moving through the obstacle and see yourself to completion. See yourself finish the obstacle. So now as you've made it onto the landing platform, I want you to just revel in what you've just done. Think about it. Think about the obstacle you just completed. Be proud of yourself. Get all glowy and excited because you just did it. Hear people cheering for you. Hear yourself being so excited. Maybe you're out of breath. Hear your friend screaming your name and being so excited. So now that you've made it onto the platform, I just want you to celebrate. Celebrate in every moment of what it took to get you to that place. You can open your eyes. So now when we do these visualizations, I want them to be as detailed as possible. Like I said, if you know that you're training with a friend and you're always going to be training with that friend, you can even just imagine them on the sidelines. You can imagine them screaming your name as you're making it through every move. I keep imagining cliffhangers. That's why I keep making this awkward little handshake, but it's because I'm imagining myself doing really tough cliffhangers. So I want you to really just keep it as detailed as you possibly can because that's going to help you in real life. In real life, you're dealing with the fear of fatigue, or you're dealing with maybe feeling nervous if there's an audience in front of you. You're dealing with what it actually, the texture of everything feels like, or what are you even wearing that day? Like, think about, do you love wearing shorts? Are you wearing shorts that day? Like, I want you to imagine every little piece of it so that when you're there doing it in real life, it almost feels like a memory as if you already did it. That's how realistic I want these visualizations to be, because that's what's going to help you when you're doing it in real time. You're going to feel like you have something to draw from, like you have something that's already been in your brain. You've already experienced it. That's what I want you to bring to the table when you actually get then back in the Ninja Gym and you're actually doing it and you're actually succeeding. All right, Ninja Babe, you made it through the whole worksheet. Great job. I want you to DM me if you have questions, if you're unsure about something in the workbook, or if you just want to tell me what your goal is. DM me and let me know, because I want to encourage you through every step of this journey. So if you want to follow along with these worksheets and you're driving, you're running, you're doing something where you can't do it right now, definitely head on over to the Ninjababes YouTube channel and you'll be able to see me go in depth for every single part of the worksheet and fill it out with you together. Ninja Babe, I'm so proud of you. I know you're going to be able to crush these goals and really excel at what you're working at in Ninja or in life in general. As you know, all the same stuff that we always talk about on the podcast applies to not just your Ninja life, but your every part of your life. It applies to how you interact with your kids, with your friends, in your own dreams and goals outside of Ninja. So just remember, you're a Ninja Babe through and through, and the confidence and the bravery that you bring to the Ninja course, you can bring to every part of your life. Don't forget to check out the new events and booking page on the ninjababes.com to see all the ways that you can take your Ninja Babes journey even further. If you love the podcast, please refer it to a friend. You can even head over to iTunes or Google Play and leave a review for the Ninja Babes podcast. Tell us why you love the podcast and why you would want your friends to be listening to it too. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.